KERX, Paris, Fort Smith.
Hey, we can't make you a morning person, but we can make your morning.
ESPN 95.3.
Down to 6. He's dancing. Smith is there. Accelerates. No. Rebound, no tag. That's it. Arkansas is going to the Sweet 16.
You don't know what you have accomplished because you're right on top of it. You should walk with a swagger.
Adu calling for it. He's got it with 5 to shoot. Richmond comes to get it. His jumper. Yes! Billy the Kid with a big bucket.
It's a happy band of Razorbacks.
But the most important game is your very next game.
Look who proved he could still coach. Congratulations there, John.
Why don't we let magic happen? Give it a chance. Go be us. Just be who we are.
This is the Morning Rush.
Man, Colton, I think you're getting better at those intros. They sound worlds better than when I was making them. Hey, welcome in. It's a Tuesday edition of the Morning Rush. We're live in Dallas, Texas this morning on our way to San Francisco, California. So, unique setup here. Arkansas is going to take on Texas Tech Thursday night. You beat them in the Liberty Bowl in football, an opportunity to beat them in postseason once again. Colton, so I'm staying with my aunt, my uncle, and my cousin. Aunt went to A&M, Southwest Conference. Uncle went to Baylor, Southwest Conference. Cousin went to Texas, Southwest Conference. There are old magazines up in this house, old Sports Illustrated, old different magazines back in the day. Maybe it was Dave Campbell's. I changed my mind on that. I don't think it's SI, but you've got all these old Southwest Conference mascots. I've got a Texas pillow that's on my bed. Not a huge fan of that, but I did sleep good last night, so maybe there's something there. A&M's out, Baylor's out, Texas is out. You're still dancing, and hopefully they continue on after this Thursday. So again, there's several clips that we had in our open. Kevin Harlan is going to be on call Thursday night, which is awesome. He was on call for that game in 2021. I forget if that game was in Bankers Life. It was in Hinkle Fieldhouse. That game was in Hinkle Fieldhouse when you beat those guys back in 2021, the COVID NCAA tournament where it was like a fourth full and you're wearing masks and everything else, and Arkansas made it all the way Elite Eight. Unfortunately lost to Baylor, which, by the way, my uncle was wearing a Baylor 2021 national champion shirt this morning just to mess with me a little bit. Then you have the Nolan Richardson clip there. Coach Richardson apparently met with the team. They put Razorback basketball put this out. I thought this was a really unique thing, and I thought Muss did a good job of bringing guys back in the fold. Cal has kept that up, especially with Coach Richardson. I think he's even amplified that a little bit because the respect that they have for one another. So they had a conversation on the plane. He talked with the team a little bit. We'll probably get into that more as the show goes on, but I think a lot of Arkansas fans really appreciate that facet of John Calipari, that like the way he's gone about things. I know I was texting Daryl Hawkins on the road yesterday, and he was, again, kind of what led to the 90 Final Four team reunion was Cal getting those guys together and then coming of it. So that's really cool. And then Billy Richmond, Billy the Kid, outplayed the other Richmond, Kadari Richmond, who fouled out in that game. And Billy went 16-9, had a fantastic game. Hopefully he continues on. Him and Carter Knox combined for 31 over the win over Texas. I almost said Texas Tech, over St. John's. So that's where we start here this morning. It is a Tuesday edition of the Morning Rush. I mentioned our coverage in San Francisco. It's brought to you by our friends at Mock Legal Solutions. Don't go in divorce or custody battle alone. Hire Mock Legal Solutions to root out the Red Raiders in the courtroom. 479-769-1505. Mock Legal Solutions. Real advice, reasonable price. By Warren Sun Plumbing in Northwest Arkansas. Servicing all of your plumbing needs. No marketing shenanigans. Fair pricing with the warranty above and beyond the competition throughout Arkansas. Daniel and Noah can help you with commercial, residential, new construction, and more. 479-312-9731 for pricing and quotes. Big Cypress Lodge in Memphis, Tennessee. We had a chance to experience Big Cypress for the Liberty Bowl, and it was awesome. You can save 10% on your weekday stay right now at Big Cypress Lodge in Memphis. They were celebrating 10 years with one big deal. Stay and explore in the iconic Bass Pro Shops Pyramid. Visit big-cypress.com to explore your next Memphis giveaway, and by the Stadium Shop on Razorback in Fayetteville. If you're gearing up to go out west this weekend and you need gear, you need sweatshirts, you need a pullover, you need anything Razorback related, then go see Robert, Elizabeth, Matt, and their team at the Stadium Shop on Razorback, because they have everything you need, and you can always get that great gift online at shoponrazorback.com. That's SHOPPE on Razorback.com. If you want to jump in with us this morning, do so on the Lewis Automotive Group hotline at 877-377-6963 via call, via text. Pete in Clarksville already jumping in, joking with me this morning that I need to surround myself with smarter people. They're family. You look past flaws with your family members, and they were kind enough to, again, let me stay here, and I love them to death. They're unbelievable. So we're lucky. I'm lucky to have family that not only lives in Dallas, but also that I can talk sports with and everything else for that matter, which is always a good time when you can catch up with some old friends. We're going to get into our opening drive here coming up in just a bit. Talk some SEC and what's going on with the amount of teams in the league. 7 of the 14 teams that made it are going to the Sweet 16 Thursday and Friday. Only one matchup in the Sweet 16 being Kentucky and being Tennessee. Bruce Pearl touched on that a little bit this week. Let's hear what he had to say.
If you waited any longer, all these kids that are on all these teams that know they're probably not coming back or want to get in the transfer portal and examine, what, are they going to wait another week? They're going to wait 2 more weeks to the Final Four? No, it's time. You got to do what's best for the majority.
This is the opening drive presented by First Financial Mortgage in Fort Smith.
So he touched on the SEC, also touched on the transfer portal a little bit, and that was more of a portion of him talking about the transfer portal and having to wait. Arkansas, amongst the other 6 SEC teams, are having to go through the recruiting process right now. And it's a benefit, Colton, that they are where they are in postseason, which I don't think a lot of people expected them to make it this far. But it's also like you're having, while you get the publicity of being on the Sweet 16, whether it's Coach Martin, Coach Payne, Coach Coleman, and of course Coach Cal, that's something that they're kind of preoccupied with game planning for the Red Raiders and also having to figure this out as well.
Yeah, and we'll hear Cal talk about it a little later on when we play some cuts from Dan Patrick. But for those guys, it's really about the relationships that they build with these players, and so they are at a detriment when it comes to that, because right now they can't really divert too much focus on texting back and forth or spending too much time with future players. It's got to be dedicated mostly right now towards game planning for Texas Tech. But at the same time, those eyeballs on the TV screen in these games with names, Ty, that means quite a bit. So they're not quite at a disadvantage, but at the same time, you really wish that they could get these things going. And this whole entire new thing we're going to be experiencing this year with the transfer portal and with freshmen, Cal's going to touch on this, but it's going to be a lot different than what we've seen in the past, where it's simply Arkansas has contacted everybody's season. It'll be a little bit more closer to the belt with this group, I think.
Yeah, and for the Arkansas Razorbacks and how they go about it, you kind of mentioned it there. It's like closer to the belt. Maybe they don't recruit as much and whatnot. Now, he did, you alluded to Cal going on with DP. Here's what he said about him communicating. If he's going to communicate, here's what he'll have to take.
If there's a young man that we know is really, really good and he wants to do this and wants to talk to me, you won't believe this. I'd probably get on the phone with him and say, hey, let's do this. But short of that, it's probably mostly staff.
So anytime Arkansas fans see a kid that is hitting the transfer portal with Arkansas connections, evidently I think it's the Sam Houston State kid that has Ashdown connections.
Shooting 40% from 3.
Yeah.
I'll take that.
I don't know if RJ Glasper, who's a Fayetteville kid, if he's found his next destination. But there's anytime Arkansas fans see someone hit the portal that has a connection to this state of any sort, you jump. In my mind, I kind of do the same thing y'all do. My mind kind of goes to, well, would Calipari consider him? Would that be something? Because I think, and I don't, like, Eric Musselman did a fantastic job in the transfer portal. John Rothstein labeled him the importer for a reason. He was really successful at that, dating back to his days at Nevada with the Martin twins and Jordan Caroline's one of the guys' names. Like, he had a lot of success. We've seen now Arkansas, I think it was on 3, Colton had the highest rated transfer portal class, not the highest rated high school class. but the highest-rated transfer portal class with guys like John L. Davis and Jonas Adu and others, and, of course, DJ and all the guys that they plucked from Kentucky, which is probably easier to sway than the guys that had initially met. But that is something I'm just kind of fascinated to see how it shakes out with Cal in the midst of the NCAA tournament, because he did a lot of this stuff in April last year with him coming over to Arkansas and the roster not having anyone with the exception of, I guess, him pulling Trevin back, and I guess if you want to count Lawson Blake, but we're talking about scholarship players in this situation.
The most loyal player in the history of Arkansas sports, Lawson Blake. We stand Lawson Blake.
Yeah, and so where do you stand? You heard Pearl there and his thoughts on the transfer portal. He's okay with it opening, and that was yesterday talking about it. Where do you stand on the portal being the midst of that? I personally don't like it, but I don't understand why they wouldn't do this in the summer once classes have concluded, and that way kids aren't transferring out in the midst of an NCAA tournament run, like Scottie Pippen Jr.'s kid apparently, or Scottie Pippen, not Pippen Jr., that kid be like one, but Pippen's kid apparently is transferring for Michigan. Like, I personally don't like seeing that. I don't know why you couldn't just make this a summer thing, but maybe I'm missing something on that, Colton.
Well, I think that really it has to do with somehow, some way, somebody is trying to care about the players and the kids. And for them, a better opportunity is as soon as their season is over, which it is for all but 16 teams, they should have the opportunity to then, figure out where they can go next if they want to go next. So I do see the argument there, but at the same time, this free-for-all that we have in these in-between times, like we saw in between the college football playoff and the regular season, during bowl games, and it makes everything completely disinteresting. And so eventually they do have to shore up these windows in which players can transfer in and can transfer out, because it does come at a detriment to some of these schools. But at the end of the day, hopefully the NCAA decides that the athletes are more important and that the schools can, work their way around it, because they have seen people come in and start with nothing, like this team did, with no players except Lawson Blake, and then build a team that's now in the Sweet 16. So at the end of the day, the schools aren't nearly as much of a disadvantage as players would be when they don't have enough time to find another opportunity for them. But then again, there's probably 600-700 players in between men and college women's basketball right now that are in the portal, and stats say that not every single one of them is going to find a home. So I see where Pearl is coming from, that it's okay because a majority of the teams aren't at a disadvantage, but it's really going to be mostly about the players, and it works out for them.
All right, that is your opening drive here this morning, brought to you by Ethan Adamson and First Financial Mortgage. I know Ethan's teaming with us this week to be a part of our Sweet 16 Elite 8 coverage. It's because he's a team player, not only with Bree and the rest of his team, but if you need something, question, concern with the mortgage process, he can answer that. 479-782-9300. Ethan's got over a decade in the mortgage experience. He's an outstanding golfer and an outstanding lender as well, because, again, he walks you through everything. He answers every question. I asked him a bajillion questions. I felt bad after the fact. I was like, man, I'm sorry. You had to work like overtime for me. But he was pretty nonchalant about it. He was like, no, it's just part of the process. So if you have questions, call him 479-782-9300 or online at ffb1.com. First Financial Mortgage, in the business of you, equal housing lender. We referenced the Arkansas Texas Tech win in 2021. Kevin Harlan again on the call this Thursday night against the Red Raiders, and he just never stops calling.
Saves the ball with the leap. Knocked out of bounds. Deflected by me and off to the side. Now watch. Oh, let's see if it watch. Oh, it's going right for you. Did you see that? Put it on the list. Deflection. It was going for your hand. Did you see who caught the ball? Did you get it? Did you? No, I did not see that. I just said, will you pay attention? You're supposed to be watching the game. I know I should be. I should be watching. Boy, I've heard that one before.
He's a gem, man. We're lucky that Arkansas. Clay was kind of going in on, and I forget. Catalan was the play-by-play guy. Who was Steve Lapis?
Yes.
Clay was kind of going in on him yesterday, which I found very entertaining. But I think we're in a much better broadcast situation. Of course, you can always listen to Chuck and Z, which is the premier
cream
broadcast.
Of the crop.
Yeah, cream of the crop. Whether it's hitthatline.com or our Hit That Line Now app, powered by Taco Bell. Always, anywhere. Honestly, this is the first time since August that I haven't listened to the show, just because I got caught up with family stuff this morning. But when I'm out in San Francisco, going to be listening to them. here's the other thing. As someone that was having to do that 6 to 9 a.m. show 3 years ago, I genuinely feel bad for Chuck this week because now he's not going to wake up. I would wake up, no joke, at 2 o'clock in the morning over there because, Colton, we can't people just think we show up to work at 6 o'clock. That's not how it goes. So I'd get up, do some prep, do some other things, get ready for the show, and he's not. He'll probably wake up at like 3:45 or 3:55 or whatever. But I really do feel bad for Chuck this week because we had it made on the Eastern Coast this past week in Providence, Rhode Island. Not so much in San Francisco, California. And in addition to that, every Hog fan's like, when am I going to nap? Like, there's no way you can't. You got to figure out, like, kiddos wise, am I going to let my 11-year-old stay up and watch this entire game to potentially 12 o'clock at night? And him having school the next day, you got to think about that. You got to think about just having to stay up. Like I was joking with Matt Jones yesterday, and I was like, man, me and Zach got the post-game show. If you want to pop on, and he was like, man, I don't know if I'm going to be up after that point. It's like, I don't blame you, man. Like that is insanely late.
It's going to be
college
late.
Basketball game.
It's going to be late. Ty, and it's going to be late, and if they called a game like they did against St. John's, it's going to be, 50 fouls. It'll take even longer, and I think everybody can expect that, but I'm going to get my nap as soon as I'm done with the remote that we have that day, and then I'm just going to be charged up for the rest of the day because it is going to be late. But you mentioned Kevin Harlan. Anytime that he's on the call, Ty, you know that it's going to be, like, late at night. He's on the call. This is a serious game. It's one of those games with names, so I think that, even though it is late, there's going to be eyeballs on that screen. Lots of them from this state, too.
Oh, no question about it. Now, some of you may be wondering here at 9:16 this morning, why haven't we chatted with our buddy Bruce Stanton just yet with Pradco Fishing on Lewis Automotive Group Hotline? I think Bruce is being detained by some work. So, again, he's always working. He busts his tail all the time. And the entire Pradco organization does the same thing. Are you looking for the best lures from Pradco? You can find them at lurenet.com. It's just at the click of a button. They have Rebel, Yum, Booyah, and more. Plus, the site includes exclusive deals and baits you won't find anywhere else for your favorite brands. Free shipping. Yes, free shipping on all U.S. orders over $35. So be sure to treat your favorite fishing buddy or yourself to some new tackle box treasures. Check out lurenet.com today. We might have a chance to catch up with Bruce later on in the show. We'll see. I know he's a busy bee as we are this week. Just getting ready for the NCAA tournament Sweet 16 game. I know that some of you have filled out your brackets already. Like, Colton, where are you currently in our bracket standings on hitthatline.com?
As of yesterday, I was middling somewhere around, kind of in between everybody. I can get an update for everybody right here in just a second. Okay. But there were some people that talked. 90th. Yeah, there were some people that talked quite a bit about who all was going to come in second that had not found themselves in first place. So that person knows who they are, and I wish them well for the rest of the bracket.
I'm going to guess that Zach Orange.
It sure is.
Referring to. Okay, yeah, Zach is actually a tremendous bracket
maker.
Is. Like if you want to, you know how sometimes you trail bettors. Well, Zach actually is pretty good at it. Evidently, though, he is not having the best of years. Clay would be the guy to trail based on his 99.9% bracket percentile that he showed us yesterday. And I have video of this. I have picture proof, y'all. Like Clay sent us a picture. It's actually his bracket, which is pretty cool. I give him some kudos for that.
Ty, there is an update right now on the leaderboard here for hitthatline.com. Standing in first place, tied together, our fearless leader, Tommy Kraft, and Christian Johnson, both with scores of 98. Yeah, both with scores of 98. Andy Hodges there, he's got 96. He helps us out at hitthatline.com. Always great talking to Andy. Phil has a 94 along with DQ number 2. So I guess that's probably her second entry. Both have scores of 94. I'm behind that at 92. You and Zach are tied at 90. And then Derek Ruskin, I think he just auto-picked because he has a 68.
That's funny. All right, well, again, that's at hitthatline.com. If you have like a Ruskin number right now, or you're at 68, the good thing is we have our Sweet 16. Yeah, Sweet 16 bracket is up. It's not too late to win great prizes. Go to hitthatline.com/bracket. Our hitthatline.com bracket challenge sponsored by Moix RV of Arkansas, 810 Billiards and Bowling in Fort Smith. I know they've got a big Kids Fest going on today from 10 to 2, which includes pizza, drink, bounce house, starting at just $20 a person and more. You've got Heartland Honda, Northwest Arkansas, and Shelter Insurance agent Chris Dooley. Fill out your Sweet 16 bracket before Thursday, and you've got a chance again to win those great prizes. Hit that line. TheBigDashBracket. And it's also brought to you in part by our friends at Foghorns Wings. I was thinking about food. Foghorns wings are fantastic, by the way. Jeff has like 50 bajillion flavors, but thinking about food this weekend, got to get something coastal. My uncle, and aunt have spent some time in San Francisco. They were going to give me some restaurant reservations and whatnot. Here's the recommendation I would have for everyone that is making the trip out, and I know there's not a lot of them, but don't stay near the Tenderloin. It's a terrible area. Like it is
Tenderloin.
Yeah, it's.
Is that a hotel or a bar or what? A club?
It is a portion of San Francisco. It's called the Tenderloin District. That has a violent crime rate of 270% or higher than the national average.
Meaning, if you go there, someone's going to commit a crime against you.
Yes.
Okay.
So I would stay. Just a word of caution: if you got a cheaper Airbnb or hotel in the Tenderloin District, there's probably a reason why. I didn't know about it last time. I walked into it all stupid and ignorant, as I often walk into places, and not a good situation. So if you are making the trip out west, avoid the Tenderloin District, unlike I did.
Stick to the backstraps, yeah.
Back 3 years ago. Okay, we played a cut from Cal on DP. There's some really good stuff in there.
Mm-hmm.
Patrick has a way of making fun of his guest and then not getting mad. So we'll play some more stuff in that in our Hog Update as well. We haven't addressed the Arkansas women's basketball hire. They've made the athletics director, athletics hire for the general manager. So we'll do all that coming up. Hey, if you need a place to stay for these upcoming baseball weekends, I recommend the Inn at the Mill. The Inn at the Mill is fantastic. It's at the heart of Northwest Arkansas, off the Johnson exit off I-49. I've stayed there several times. Tommy stayed there. Our staff has stayed there. You can give them a call at 479-443-1800 or visit inatthemill.com. The Inn at the Mill, where the past meets the present, and a great place to stay for any Razorback sporting event, graduations, and more. We get into our Hog Update as we are live from Dallas, heading to San Fran.
We're live in San Francisco this week at the NCAA Tournament. Our coverage is presented by the Stadium Shop on Razorback, Mock Legal Solutions, real advice, reasonable price. By Big Cypress Lodge. Visit big-cypress.com to plan your next Memphis getaway. And by Warden Sun Plumbing, LLC. They're located in Elm Springs, Arkansas.
Arkansas is headed to the Sweet 16.
Hunting for a fortune? X marks the cash. 5 new lottery scratchers are loaded with prizes and waiting to be discovered. Multiply your prize 10, 50, up to 200 times. Ticket prices range from $1 to $20. Top prizes start at $5 grand and go all the way to $500,000. Find the X and find the cash. Available now at lottery retailers. Call or text 1-800-522-4700 for Problem Gambling Helpline.
Winter might be downtime for some, but it's uptime for saving at WT Equipment in Springdale. For a limited time, choose between 0% financing or cashback offers on New Holland Workmaster Utility Series tractors. Plus, New Holland's 60-month, 2,000-hour Premier Protection Plan, included at no extra cost. Don't miss out on these winter-exclusive deals. Available now through March 31st. Visit WT Equipment in Springdale today or call us for details.
But the most important game is your very next day.
This is the Morning Rush.
The Newmeyer family is a mainstay in Fort Smith, and their newest restaurant, the Whippoorwill, has so much to offer. Friday night catfish, good. Tuesday nights, kids 10 and under eat free with an adult meal purchase. Don't forget about Whippoorwill for every Hogs game with their massive projection screen. For catering options, call 479-769-2095. Newmeyer's Whippoorwill Restaurant, now a part of the Newmeyer family.
They say consistency is the key to success. They weren't wrong. So how about grabbing a beer that's consistently smooth, consistently refreshing, and consistently light? You might just find that the road to success can be pretty enjoyable. Michelob Ultra, the perfect balance of taste and refreshment, and only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Here's some exciting news for golf enthusiasts. The Golf Nut is thrilled to announce new arrivals for 2025, including Callaway Elite Woods and Irons, the new generation Pro V1 and Pro V1X golf balls, as well as a full range of lab putters, including the latest OZ model. Schedule a lesson or fitting on one of our indoor simulators to elevate your game. Visit the Golf Nut at 5121 Towson Avenue and experience golfing greatness for over 30 years.
Back again at Harry Robinson, Sallisaw Ford, 1 mile south of exit 308 off I-40 in Sallisaw. It's Markdown Madness. Also, for a lot of people, it's spring break time. That means family vacations. That means kids in the car. The Ford Expedition is the perfect ride for spring and summer.
Yes, definitely. You know, you've got the room for the kids. You've got the room for the pets. You've got the room for all of the kids' stuff. I mean, hey, the Expedition is just an awesome vehicle. And here's the big kicker. I only have one left. It's over $14,000 off of MSRP. It is the last one that I have in inventory.
This is a 24 model, right?
Yep, it's a 24. We've got the savings at Harry Robinson, Sallisaw Ford. Over 14 grand off of that Expedition, and F-150s up to $15,000 off.
All right, come take a test drive. You can shoot a hoop right out here in front. You'll see the goal for up to $500 cash for you. Markdown Madness at Harry Robinson, Sallisaw Ford, 1 mile south of exit 308 off I-40 in Sallisaw.
Precision Garage Door features the finest quality materials, installation, and service for all your garage door needs, including garage door repair and new garage doors and openers. Fully licensed and insured with the largest showroom in Northwest Arkansas at 1907 Town West Drive in Rogers and in Fort Smith at 416 North 10th Street. Call Precision Garage Door today at 844-PDS-DOOR or check them out online at PrecisionDoorNWA.com. Financing is available. Precision Garage Door, voted best garage door company of Northwest Arkansas and the River Valley.
For 33 years, Manfield's Automotive Parts City Auto Parts has been trusted as your one-stop for all your vehicle needs. Get a great deal on a Superstar battery and any of the products you need for the do-it-yourself upkeep on your car or truck. When you need work done, Mansfield Automotive Parts City Auto Parts does everything from oil changes, brakes, alignments, diagnostic work, air conditioning, and more. Mansfield Automotive Parts City Auto Parts in downtown Mansfield is open 8 to 5:30 Monday through Friday and 8 to 1 on Saturdays.
Are you ready to indulge in an unforgettable fine dining experience? Then come join us at Uncorked, where every meal is a masterpiece, crafted with the finest ingredients to tantalize your taste buds. And with our extensive selection of cocktails, wine, craft beer, and bourbons, we've got something for everyone. So why not take a break from the ordinary and join us on Phoenix Avenue next to Sodi's? Come savor the moment with us at Uncorked, where every visit is a celebration.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Come on, Pitt. There's only one Razorback.
Uncle Tommy loves the Razorbacks.
This one belongs to the Razorbacks. Ball's on the ground, picked up by Collins. Alex has got room.
A great day again for the Fighting Razorbacks.
Everybody, Wolf victory.
Huge win for the Razorbacks.
This is your hog update on the Morning Rush. Brought to you by Mr. Sparky. Need a licensed electrician to service your home? For one of their local pros, call 888-8-SPARKY.
Yeah, I'm fine with that. Like, look, most of my career was shouldn't, wouldn't, can't, won't. I mean, we've been the underdog. You remember UMass, you came up and did some games. You went on the court, shot air balls and, you know, some of the stuff there. And the Memphis, the same thing. And, you know, we had a pretty good run at Kentucky. And there was that 8-9 year period where, yeah, we were the one. But, you know, most of my career, I've been that. And so I'm fine in that role. I'm comfortable in the role. I'm just trying to make sure my team is comfortable in that role.
I don't make a habit too often of promoting other people's content that aren't necessarily on this radio station, but if you have 10 minutes today or tomorrow, you should go listen to Cal with Dan Patrick yesterday. I thought it was really good, messing with them a little bit. That's something that Cal has really been preaching. I think, not that it hasn't come up a point or two this season, but it has been really just hammered this last week or so about Arkansas being an underdog. And I think his team is bought into as a certain extent. If you want to actually like buy into that underdog role and say, well, man, they're an underdog. They're a Cinderella. Now, a Cinderella might be a bridge too far. But, guys, Arkansas is the lowest seed left in the Sweet 16. They're at 10. I think the second one is Ole Miss and another 6 seed. So it's not like you can't feasibly buy that. Now, on the flip side, they were picked 3 in the preseason. Like, this wasn't a team that wasn't highly thought of heading into the year. They started off okay, had some spell. They lost to Baylor and Illinois in non-conference. Then they beat Michigan. And then later on didn't have a good conference play. So it just kind of depends on where you are. I don't know if I'm willing to call this team a Cinderella yet. Maybe you are. But definitely Cal is preaching the underdog. And I think people have bought in, and it's worked out. BYU and Ole Miss are the 2 teams at 6 right now. Colton, Arkansas is the next at 10. So, again, lowest seed in the NCAA Tournament Sweet 16.
Yeah, Ty, it's not quite a Cinderella story because they're not the traditional, mid-major school that nobody knows, and you got to Google all the players' names and where that school is even from. People know Arkansas, but the thing is, this isn't that Cinderella story. I'll use a different analogy, Ty. You ever grow up next to a girl that was really pretty, maybe your neighbor? This is the girl next door when she takes her glasses off, and you remember she's been beautiful the whole time. That's what this is. Yeah, absolutely. That's what this is for the Razorbacks. People finally remember, hey, that Jonas Adu cat, wasn't he all SEC? Didn't John L. Davis lead FAU to a Final Four? Huh? They got those star freshmen and the kids from Kentucky. They might be pretty good. Now, they had those injuries and it stacked up, but it's not quite a Cinderella, but you're right, and Cal is right. They've been the underdog this year, and we can't deny that that's been fuel to their fire.
So you've got a couple kids off that FAU team. It's 3 or 4. One went to San Diego State. You got the one kid at Florida, and then John L. at Arkansas. That FAU team was stacked, the one that made it all the way. And then the big kid at Michigan, Golden at Michigan. So that's the one I was thinking of. Again, that FAU team was stacked back in the day. You're just happy to have John L. Davis. Just got a text from our buddy Phil Elson here on the Lewis Automotive group hotline that Kelly Music is going to be appearing on halftime at 11:15 today. So excited to have him on there. Have her on there with him for that and everything else. A 5-year contract for the Arkansas head coach. So you get a chance to hear from Arkansas's new women's basketball coach coming up a little bit. I think what's interesting about this is there's so many people that come out and say they don't like to hire that are Arkansas fans. Here's what I've said about it. I don't follow women's college basketball. I don't have an opinion about this one way or another. I hope it works out. I hope she has success. I love Neighbors. He's a great guy, great human being, great person to hang out with. Evidently got paid, according to Whole Hog Sports, $750,000 for the release payment. But you have all these people coming out of the woodwork saying that they know this isn't going to work and it's a bad hire. It's like, I can't tell you that because I got no idea. The 2 women's storylines I know in women's college basketball are Juju Watkins tearing her ACL and that double OT game with Alabama and Maryland. That's it. I can't tell you one thing else that's happened in the last week or so outside of Arkansas hiring a new women's coach.
And most other people that are complaining about this can't either, Ty, so don't worry.
Yes, at least give her a chance. That's all I would say on that, is at least give her a chance. A couple other things. Jerry Rice coming to Bud Walton next week, apparently, for U of A's Distinguished Lecture Series, which is cool. Wednesday, a week from tomorrow at 7 o'clock. It's free to the public. I mean, that's pretty cool that Jerry Rice is coming in. Arkansas baseball back in action today against Missouri State. 6 o'clock, Baum Walker. Most important thing, $2 hot dogs tonight.
Let's go.
Take advantage of that. And last thing here, Remy Cofield has been named Deputy AD and GM officially. There was that report out there, but now he has been officially named the Deputy AD and GM of Arkansas Athletics. All right, that is your Hog Update here on this Tuesday edition of the Morning Rush, brought to you by our friends at Mr. Sparky.
You don't have to put up with any malarkey. Call 888-8-SPARKY.
All right, I know the madness is going on, and it's sometimes hard to keep up with everything. I'll tell you who always seems to keep up with everything. That's our buddy Larry Rath of Rath Auto Resources. And, Larry, I know it's been a while that since you and I have gotten a chance, we were going to go eat, and things just got piled up and everything. Still been following what you guys have been doing on socials. Weekly specials right now, a big thing with Rath Auto Resources and Rath Mitsubishi. And you've got clearance on these 2024 Outlanders in Springdale. I know you and David would love to get people in driving on the road today.
You know, I think that's the most exciting thing we've got going on is that 24 Outlander clearance. We're down to, I think there's less than 10 of those left. they're going fast, up to $6,500 savings on those 24 Outlanders. And folks, if you haven't considered the Mitsubishi, I understand that it's not in your face all the time. You're not seeing ads all day long every day. You were talking about the underdog, Ty. That's us, man. We're the underdog. And but you owe it to yourself to come in and test drive one of these new Mitsubishis. I'm telling you, it's a terrific product. Just a really good-looking car with the interior second to none. Absolutely fantastic. All the latest technology, all the latest safety features. Just terrific car with a 10-year, 100,000-mile warranty. Right now, up to $6,500 in savings. So you can understand why they're going fast. Folks, they're all going to be going here in the next few days. Please come in, take a test drive, see what you think about this Outlander. We can save you some money and take care of you with a brand new Mitsubishi at Raft Mitsubishi in Springdale. If you're looking for a used car, we've loaded up both lots. Lots of nice road-ready certified used cars with warranty. You cannot buy a better used car than what you buy at Rath Mitsubishi in Springdale, Rath Auto Resources in Fort Smith. And we've got a great selection of, affordable vehicles. We keep used cars that people need to buy and want to buy, and they need transportation. They want to get a good low monthly payment. They want to know they've got great warranty on that car. And most importantly, they just want to get a great car. That's what we do better than anybody, folks. We'd love a chance to earn your business on a pre-owned vehicle. Rath Auto Resources, Fort Smith, Rath Mitsubishi in Springdale. If you're taking care of the car you have, come on into the Meineke Car Care Center at either location. We'll get you fixed up, get you driving again today. Rath Auto Resources in Fort Smith, Rath Mitsubishi in Springdale. Come see us now. Test drive these new Mitsubishis and save some money. Rath Mitsubishi in Springdale.
And those pre-owned vehicles Larry's talking about, warranty. You don't hear about that on pre-owned vehicles when it comes to those most often, but they are on Larry. Larry, enjoy the rest of the madness, man. I love the underdog mentality you guys have it. The Hogs had it. Well, hopefully they'll hit it. They'll keep it heading into Thursday night's matchup against Texas Tech, where they're underdogs by 5.5. All right.
That's right. Go Hogs. It's going to be a good time. Folks, come and see us.
All right, when we return, we've got our Morning Rush daily question as we continue on live from Dallas, heading to San Fran.
We weren't bad. Well, I wasn't sure.
This is the Morning Rush.
Hi, folks. Larry Rath here for Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center, where all we do is keep you rolling. This is the best time of year to save on a great selection of road-ready certified used cars with warranty. Plus, act now and take advantage of $1,000 cash your way on select inventory for even more savings. Don't forget to follow us on Facebook for fun-free contests and money-saving specials. All the happiest drivers are rolling with Rath. Rath Auto Resources in the Meineke Car Care Center, Fort Smith.
Hey, Ty Richardson for Jim. They have several locations in the Arkansas area, but I specifically want to talk to you about Jam Mart number 10. Great deli. My goodness. Great lunch, great dinner. But have you had the breakfast yet? It's the best in town. And they have that convenient drive-through window. So when you're heading north or south on 540, take exit number 6 for Jam Mart number 10. 6201 Grand Avenue in Fort Smith. Jim, the leading gas station and convenience store in the area.
Why do people love Shamrock Liquor Warehouse? Simple. They've got it all. 70 years in business, 15,000 square feet of choices. They buy in volume so you can save. What else? How about the largest selection of everything? Shamrock's got it. Special orders? Shamrock's got it. Convenient drive-through, open 6 days a week? Shamrock's got it. Need a keg for your party? Shamrock's got it. Load up at Shamrock Liquor Warehouse at the corner of Midland and Riverfront Drive in Fort Smith.
Ignorant when it comes to a lot of topics. Thankfully, I listened to my friend's advice on the housing market and called Jeff Marks at Weicker Realtors, the Griffin Company. Jeff made the process smoother than Mama's gravy.
Ty, you got to throw in some homemade biscuits with that gravy and a great local real estate professional to guide you down the right path. One of the keys is knowing what to do and certainly what not to do.
You communicated and were transparent throughout the process.
Ty, like you, anyone can call me, Jeff Marks, at 479-414-1193. For your big decisions, I have simple solutions.
Big changes are coming. In order to serve you better, Metters Lumber is joining Ace Hardware. We will remain locally owned and operated so you can expect the same great service, but with lower pricing and better selection. We'll have exciting new brands to serve more of your needs. Come by and check out our deeply discounted merchandise as we make room for new products at Metters Lumber Company in Alma, Ozark in Clarksville.
Hey, Ty Richardson back in my favorite place, Papa's Pub and Pizzeria in downtown Fort Smith here with Brooklyn, one of the new gals. Y'all got a great special on Monday, Brooklyn.
Yes, we have our $3 domestic drafts, our Bud Lights, Miller Lights, Coors Light, Yingling, Shinerbach, Michelob Ultra, some super cold mugs, and 10 wings for $8.95.
Come on by and see us at 508 Garrison Avenue in downtown Fort Smith. Papa's Pub and Pizzeria, the best darn pizza in Fort Smith, perhaps the world.
It is Markdown Madness at Harry Robinson, Salisal Ford, 1 mile south of exit 308 off I-40 in Salisal. Hey, if your bracket's busted and you're ready to do something else, how about save a bundle? It won't break your bank or your bracket here at Harry Robinson during Markdown Madness.
Yes, the Markdown Madness event. I mean, Tommy, we keep talking about this, and it's just like, it's crazy that if I added up all the discounts, we did it earlier, it's over $250,000 in savings. It's over $250,000 in savings for our customers that want to come in here and buy a new 2024 Ford. So come down here and see us. The Markdown Madness event, F-150s up to $15,000 off sticker, Expeditions over $14,000 off, the remaining Broncos over $13,000 off. So I'm telling you, you're not going to find a better deal anywhere else. Come to Harry Robinson, Salisal Ford.
It's Markdown Madness now through the end of the month. Harry Robinson, Salisal Ford, 1 mile south of exit 308 off of I-40 in Salisal.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3. Social Morning Rush Daily Question.
All right, you men, I'm going to ask you a question, and I want you to answer to the best of your ability.
It's going to be a quick answer to an incredibly terrible, long question.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
Check out Nate and Kristen's place in Lowell online at carpathsocial.com.
All right, before we get into our Morning Rush Daily Question brought to you by CarPass Social, Colton hit me on the head. I was distracted when I was reading the press release. Correct me from the last segment. I know there's a lot of corrections that can be made on a daily basis, but correct me what I butchered this last segment.
The new women's head coach is Coach Kelsey Music from Oral Roberts. It's just a simple little slip, extra consonant, no big deal. But she had a great press conference yesterday. We got some clips on there we might play later, but I was impressed.
Yeah, so it would help, if I named the women's basketball coach correctly, and like Hunter Yurchek did.
Now let me officially welcome our 10th head women's basketball coach at the University of Arkansas, Kelsey Music.
All right, again, I apologize, Kelsey. That will not happen again. I promise you. I promise you that. All right, time to get in our CarPath Social Morning Rush Daily Question. So Dan Hurley, I'm not going to play the expletive clip that we played yesterday, but there is an addition to that. This is from a Charlotte station, and what happened is the guy that recording the clip, their communications director, our Mike Kaywood, basically said something to the guy. Take a listen. Has Dan Hurley become the villain of college basketball and maybe UConn as a whole?
Charlotte Sports Live's own Joey Ellis took that video and then was confronted by UConn Director of Communications Bobby Mullen. Mullen asked for that video that had gone viral to be removed. He then threatened Joey, saying he would, quote, ruin his life if he didn't. This was heard by multiple other reporters and staff on hand.
Oh, man. I get it. So I'll give you my firsthand situation. So I'm behind the Arkansas bench earlier this weekend in Providence, Rhode Island, following Arkansas's win over St. John's by 9. And Pitino walks off early, right? And he walks off, and he walks right next to me as I'm filming the celebration, him and everything else. And in the back of my head, I'm thinking he's about to cuss me out, even though I felt like we had some pretty good interactions the day before. But his mind's ticked off, focused on the game. So nothing happened, nothing transpired, and then of course we got the Cal celebration. We've got Arkansas players getting pumped up and everything else. Got it on our social media. It's just a very raw, genuine, positive moment for Arkansas. But let's say Thursday we hate this, they lose, and that emotion, and there's some things that are said after the game. So I understand from his standpoint, but threatening that I quote am going to ruin your life. I don't know how you can't think that Dan Hurley has become the villain of college basketball. right, Colton? I mean,
He's
really,
a poor man's Bobby Knight is what he is. And you look, he is a great basketball coach, X's and O's and all that stuff. But there's a difference between but you can still be a great basketball coach and be the most insufferable being on the face of the earth. And Dan Hurley may not be that, but he sure is pretty close. When you're great at something, everybody knows. You don't have to spend every waking hour showing your ass and letting everybody else know how great you are. Annoying.
This is a text from John in Mountain Home here on our Lewis Automotive Group hotline. He's saying, when you're doing a show in public, have you ever had someone come up and try and yell at the mic or act a fool or something similar to maybe that interaction? And that has happened before. I think the most common interaction that me, Chuck and Bo, Phil and Matt, Derek and Zach can attest to is the idea of like when we – and listen, we love all our listeners. We're lucky to have you guys listening to ESPN Arkansas and hitthatline.com or hitthatline now app powered by Taco Bell. But I think sometimes people forget that we're doing a radio show. And we're
You guys on the air?
Exactly. When they come up and talk to us, it drives. I remember one time we were at a Hardee's and like Tommy does his absolute best to make sure like clients and listeners feel as welcome as possible. But this one guy kept trying to bother him mid-show, and I was sitting there laughing, like I'm sitting there crying laughing. By the way, if you're just hopping with us at 9:45 on a Tuesday, Tom and his family are here in Hawaii. He'll be back on Monday. So we'll have a full cast for the show next week. But it was so entertaining because when he gets hot, it's kind of like Eric Musselman. Like, I can't help but laugh. Like, even if it's at me and something that I did wrong, which there's a lot of that, it's genuinely funny to watch him blow his top from time to time. I think it's rare. Like, it's more of the exception than it is the rule. Usually he keeps pretty good composure. But every once in a while he just goes off, and I go off too. I'm kind of the same way. I got my dad's anger in me every once in a while, and he hadn't done that in years, but it's just entertaining. And so those type of instances occur. And listen, I've heard worse. People are freaking out about this Hurley thing. I've heard way worse from coaches. I mean, when we were up in the Vanderbilt press box back in 2021, prior to the I think this was prior to the NCAA tournament, I think in 2021, and there was no one in Memorial Gymnasium, I could hear everything Muss said, and it wasn't pleasant. And it's not a criticism of Muss. That's just like how it is sometimes in the coaching world. All right, that is, again, your Cart Pass Social Morning Rush Daily question. Is Dan Hurley the biggest villain in college basketball? I don't know if it's a consensus yet, but Colton, it sure seems like that it's that a lot of people would say that is the case.
He just needs to learn to take his licks a little bit better. And as far as that journalist is concerned, Ty, if you don't get some kind of viral content like this from your next time in San Francisco, you're not doing your job right. It's good stuff.
I'd rather have the positive stuff go viral.
Of course.
That means Arkansas is heading to San Antonio, Texas for the Final Four, but we'll have to wait and see. All right, Cart Pass Social, #1 indoor golf destination in all of Arkansas. They got their first ever Masters Invitational going on. Jeremy Arns, Mason Klein, Chris Beidler, and Case Smith, all in the top 4. Nate somehow made the top 5 as well. We'll see. I don't know if he jerry-rigged something else as one of the co-owners. I'm just kidding, Nate. I'm just kidding. 479-487-3622. 122 Grant Place in Lowell. Nate's actually a good golfer, by the way. I should add that in. The #1 indoor golf facility, not just Northwest Arkansas, but all of Arkansas. BYOB all the time at Cart Path Social. So I know there's guys on the river somewhere as we welcome in Bruce Stanton here on the Lewis Automotive Group hotline. Bruce, you sent me and Tommy a picture. Tommy's in Hawaii. Where are you fishing this morning?
Well, we're on the Mighty White River with Donald Craner. We got Bill Dance filming in the boat, and his producer Jim Rhymes in the boat with us, and
keep him in there.
Berg and Tim Gooden following us around. But yeah, we've caught about a dozen so far this morning. Still waiting on Donald to put us on the big one.
Okay, all right. Well, y'all keep on fishing. We're gonna change it up a little bit, Bruce. There's been so much conversation about the Southeastern Conference and everything else. I want to play this cut from Nate Oates talking about the SEC in the conference tournament. Take a listen.
I think you see the level of the SEC now with 7. I think we broke the record, right? I think the previous record was 6 teams from the ACC one year, and now we got 7 in the SEC. So, people that were questioning whether the SEC was going to be able to do in the tournament or not, I think those questions are being answered.
Yep, those naysayers are gone, Bruce. You've got 7 teams in. You've got 4 teams that could make the Final Four, like all 4 teams. Some of the setups are as follows. Like your team plays Kentucky this weekend. Go Vols. I know it's hard to beat a team 3 times in a year. I'm hoping that is the case when Kentucky takes on Tennessee this weekend. Auburn plays Ole Miss in the Elite Eight potentially. Florida plays Arkansas in the Elite Eight potentially. And Bama doesn't play an SEC team till the Final Four. Bruce Stan, how many SEC teams do you see making it to the Final Four this next weekend in San Antonio?
Well, first of all, Nate Oates needs to gargle some Drano, get rid of that throat thing he's got going on. There's probably a lot of other reasons to do that. But I think I got Tennessee in there winning the whole thing. That's my original bracket. And then I got Auburn in there, and I got Florida in there. So I think definitely I'm going with 3.
Okay. All right. Well, I'd have to go back and look the last time, if ever, if a conference got 3 of the 4 teams in the
Didn't
Final
the Big East
Four.
do that a long time ago? Wasn't it like
That's where I was going to say. I was thinking like
St.
Villanova,
John's,
North
Georgetown,
Carolina.
Villanova, yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of where my head initially go when like the Big East got 11 in. I was thinking the Final Four as well. Bruce, I don't know if you've seen kind of this stuff on social media. ESPN.com re-ranked the SEC or the Sweet 16 teams in Arkansas. Is it last? Like what you mentioned, Tennessee being your best bet to make the Final Four. If you had to kind of pick the 7 teams in kind of our Pratco pyramid of power, Tennessee's at the top. Who would follow them in the next 6 order to make the Final Four based on the best road to get there and just how they're playing right now?
Well, I mean, I think obviously Florida, if you got to go with, they beat UConn. I don't really like UConn. I was pulling for them because I thought they'd be easier to beat than Florida, but that was a big win for Florida, pulling that out late. And then, I think Auburn probably has the next best road. I think Tennessee's got a tough road. Beating Kentucky and beating Houston will be tough, and I still don't think Alabama defensively is going to make it. So I would probably rank Florida making the Final Four number 1, Auburn number 2, and Tennessee number 3.
Yeah, Florida, they get by UConn. That was a great game, maybe the best game in the tournament. I just don't know how many games they're going to be battle-tested as they are with that setup. And Bruce, before we let you go, I mean, you're on the White here, and you're in Arkansas, right? I just want to clarify that.
We're in Arkansas, baby. I'm going to let Bill Dance ask the question. Bill, what should we be using to fish on the White River right now?
Well, what we're catching our fish on right now is a Flashpoint minnow, a new bait that your company under Booyah. Yeah, it's a Booyah Flashpoint minnow. We're following the water, staying just ahead of the rise and trying to meet the rise as it comes down. And it seems to work. Fishing with Donald Craner, all of us is kind of like a trio. We fish together here for 10 or 12 years, and we just kind of make it a yearly event. And there's days that we do exceptionally well, and there's days we just do, mediocre, but we always have a good time doing what we love to do, and that's fishing.
We have a lot more fun than Clay Henry. He's a notorious corn fisherman, so we're
I was gonna say, Bruce, I think Tommy's FOMO just kicked through the roof that he's missing a show with Bill, Mr. Bill this morning. I can imagine he's a little frustrated about that. Well, Bruce, you guys have fun as a trio, catch as many as possible, and we'll catch up next week, hopefully with the Vols and the Hogs heading to the Final Four, man.
All right, go Vols. Go Vols.
All right. That's our buddy Bruce Stan, Pratco Fishing. Again, find all of their stuff at lurnet.com. Hey, we've also got our Fenceman Friday picks coming back this week. I know Sean's really excited, always loves picking games, and he loves to help build fences, whether it's repairs, new fences, commercial, residential, chain link, custom wrought iron fencing. You can call him at 479-782-3936. That's 479-782-3936. One more time, 479-782-3936. The Fence Man, he ain't afraid of no work, can help you with any fence project possible. When we return, we'll get a chance to talk with Tom Murphy And Kevin and Rogers, hang on. We'll get to you next. I know you want to talk some basketball. Hour 2 of the Morning Rush. We're live in Dallas, Texas this morning, heading to San Francisco on our way to the Sweet 16.
Taco Bell's new caliente sauce made with red jalapenos is the spicy side of Cantina chicken. But does that mean everything has a spicy side? Like your cactus plant. It's like your other plants, but spicy. Or your coworker who says they hate everyone who works here, but you work here. Or when you say, I don't mean to be rude, but you do mean to be rude. But now you can feed your spicy side with Caliente Cantina chicken from Taco Bell. At participating Taco Bell stores for a limited time only while supplies last. Contact store for availability.
Hey, Hog fans, this is Matt.
This is Robert.
And this is Elizabeth, and we're with the Stadium Shop on Razorback in Fayetteville.
It's tournament time again, and the Hogs are still dancing.
We have you covered for the watch parties you'll be hosting or attending.
From the Nike team shirts to the Sweet 16 tees, we have what you're looking for.
Clothing items from Cutter and Buck, Nike, Champion, and Tommy Bahama. We have what you'll want.
We have Razorback tablecloths, pennants, and banners. We even have a Razorback floor runner that looks like a basketball court. Hey, Matt, did I tell you where I keep all my dad jokes?
No, Dad, where?
In my new Dada base.
He's getting worse by the week.
Anyway, the Stadium Shop on Razorback has everything you need to root the Hog in the tournament.
And if you can't get by the store, which is located at 989 South Razorback Road next to Von Walker Stadium, you can find us on the interweb Insta.
Dad, let me do that before you pull some kind of brain muscle. He's talking about our website, which is shoponrazorback.com.
Or call us at 479-STADIUM. That's 479-782-3486.
All at the only local family and alumni-owned Razorback store.
Don't forget, largest Razorback store south of the North Pole.
Folks, it does not get more Razorback than us.
Go Hogs.
APAC Arcola and Standard Materials Group has immediate openings in the Northwest Arkansas area. If you're a licensed CDL driver, heavy equipment operator, electrician, diesel mechanic, have paving or concrete labor experience, or experience in a quarry, apply today at jobs.crh.com. APAC offers top pay, a sign-on bonus, benefits including insurance, retirement, and profit sharing. Apply online today at jobs.crh.com. APAC Arcola and Standard Materials Group is an equal opportunity employer.
This is the Morning Rush.
Hi, folks. Larry Rath here for Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center, where all we do is keep you rolling. This is the best time of year to save on a great selection of road-ready certified used cars with warranty. Plus, act now and take advantage of $1,000 cash your way on select inventory for even more savings. Don't forget to follow us on Facebook for fun-free contests and money-saving specials. All the happiest drivers are rolling with Rath. Rath Auto Resources in the Meineke Car Care Center, Fort Smith.
Forsgren is hiring immediately. Forsgren Incorporated, a heritage company and premier employer, is now hiring equipment operators, pipe layers, concrete finishers, and laborers. Have experience in any of these areas? Apply now at goforsgren.com. Don't delay. Forsgren is hiring now at goforsgren.com. Don't miss your opportunity to join the Forsgren legacy. Forsgren has immediate openings for equipment operators, pipe layers, concrete finishers, and laborers. Apply now at goforsgren.com. Forsgren Incorporated is an equal opportunity employer.
Join us for the legendary adventure Mystery at the Forest on Saturday, April 26th. Heart to Heart Pregnancy and Family Care Center invites you to share this magical evening of excitement, mystery, and fun. If you are a business or individual looking to sponsor a heartfelt organization or to buy tickets, please visit our Facebook page for more information or call our office at 479-452-2260.
Hey, Tuesdays is a great day to stop by Papa's Pub and Pizzeria. I know everyone thinks tacos on Tuesday, Brooklyn, but you guys have taco pizzas on special as well, plus some special drink prices on Mexican beers.
Yes, we have our $1 off Mexican imports, $2 off margaritas, $1 off when wearing a Papa's t-shirt.
How many Papa's Pub t-shirts do you have?
Quite a bit right now in stock.
Come on by and see us at 508 Garrison Avenue in downtown Fort Smith. Papa's Pub and Pizzeria, the best darn pizza in Fort Smith, perhaps the world.
Why do people love Shamrock Liquor Warehouse? Simple. They've got it all. 70 years in business, 15,000 square feet of choices. They buy in volume so you can save. What else? How about the largest selection of everything? Shamrock's got it. Special orders? Shamrock's got it. Convenient drive-through, open 6 days a week? Shamrock's got it. Need a keg for your party? Shamrock's got it. Load up at Shamrock Liquor Warehouse at the corner of Midland and Riverfront Drive in Fort Smith.
I want to ride my bicycle.
Looking for a new ride or need a tune-up?
Champion Cycling in Fort Smith has you covered. From top-of-the-line bikes like Specialized and Surly to expert repairs, apparel, and accessories, we've got everything you need to hit the trails. Stop by 5500 Mazard Road during business hours or shop anytime online at championcycling.com. Champion Cycling, helping you share in the joy of cycling.
Ready to explore beyond the beaten path? Discover the Range Rover lineup at Land Rover of Little Rock. Experience handcrafted luxury with the capability to take on any adventure. The elegant Range Rover offers unmatched performance and first-class luxury. The Range Rover is built for every journey. Visit Land Rover of Little Rock today and explore our incredible Range Rover selection. Plus, take advantage of our promotions and recently revamped service department. Visit us at 25 Colonel Glenn Plaza Drive or log on at LandRoverLittleRock.com.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, beautiful sunshine. Our high this afternoon will be in the middle 70s north, low 80s south. Clear to partly cloudy sky tonight, and overnight low in the upper 40s to low 50s. Wednesday, lots of sunshine, a high low to mid 70s, and a chance of a few showers or thunderstorms Thursday. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by Forest Grain Incorporated, committed to setting the standard of excellence since 1936. You're listening to The Morning Rush on ESPN 95.3, KERX Paris, Fort Smith.
Don't touch my beef jerky now.
Down to 6. He's dancing. Smith is there. Accelerates. No. Rebound, no tag. That's it. Arkansas is going to the Sweet 16.
You don't know what you have accomplished because you're right on top of it. You should walk with a swagger.
Adu calling for it. He's got it with 5 to shoot. Richmond comes to get it. His jumper. Yes! Billy the Kid with a big bucket.
It's a happy band of Razorbacks.
But the most important game is your very next day.
Look who proved he could still coach. Congratulations there, John.
Why don't we let magic happen? Give it a chance. Go be us. Just be who we are.
This is The Morning Rush.
All right, let's get going here in hour number 2. Kevin Harlan back calling the game for your Arkansas Razorbacks like he did in Hinkle Fieldhouse in 2021. It's going to be better than maybe the broadcast team that we had to listen to this past weekend. No district. I love Evan Washburn. Catalan and Lapis are just kind of whatever. Nolan Richardson got a chance to talk with the team. That was pretty cool. You heard some cuts from there, from the Arkansas Razorback basketball social media team. And I know anytime you hear from Coach Richardson, it gets Arkansas fans fired up, like Billy Richmond often gets them fired up for this season. Magic's still here, still upon us. Let's roll it into this weekend against Texas Tech and maybe Florida or Maryland. That's where we start here in hour number 2 of the Morning Rush. Chat and text Arcana texting in the Lewis Automotive Group hotline. Wholeheartedly agree with this. Chad, you have no idea how awesome he's texting this is. It is to be able to talk to an American icon like Bill Dance. He is to bass fishing what George Strait is to country music. The king of bass fishing. How awesome. I think Tommy, when he gets back and he's like, who did y'all talk to last week? And we say Bill Dance, Colton, he's just going to be like, just kind of sitting there for a sec. Like, why was that not here? His FOMO is going to be bad enough if Arkansas advances to the Final Four. Not that he's not having a great time with his family in Hawaii right now, but the element that just came about in the last segment, I think, might add to his FOMO a little bit.
Yeah, he's going to be missing us, no doubt. And, of course, he's in Hawaii, tropical paradise, all that jazz. But I know he'd rather be here doing the Morning Rush with us, like the good businessman he is. But you're right, the cherry on top to get to talk to a legend like Bill Dance that I know Tommy has spent hours watching his videos. Yeah, he'll be a little salty about it, but that's okay. We just have one over the old guy.
Well, yeah, it was cool, and I know for a lot of our listeners like Chad and Texarkana, it's a significant moment. Kevin Rogers in just one sec. Tom Murphy also coming up as well. Before we get into that, I want to tell you again, we're on the way to San Francisco. Our coverage is brought to you by Mock Legal Solutions in Fort Smith, Ward & Son Plumbing in Northwest Arkansas, Big Cypress in Memphis, Tennessee, and the Stadium Shop on Razorback in Fayetteville. Even solicited in text from Clay Henry saying Bruce is the corn fisherman. Oh man, this is I don't know, like the fly fishing versus help me on this. Forgive my ignorance.
Bass fishing, but
once
just
again.
you're just
First,
gonna
bass fishing.
don't step
What
on
is
any
the-
toes. Be
What is the comparison? Like, what is the comparison for that than like, I don't know, basketball or sports? Like, I don't like high tops versus low tops. Like, I don't know what to compare that to in my own life that I am like enamored with or fascinated by. Like that I'm so connected with because I grew up fishing with my dad occasionally, but I guess we use corn. Clay's never taken me fly fishing because he hates me, but maybe one day I'll be able to convince him otherwise to do so in this setup. Hey, Kevin and Rogers, just one sec. I want to tell you real quick about the Northwest Arkansas RV Show and Outdoor Party coming up April 12th and the 13th at West Pauline Whitaker Parkway, 5102 in Rogers, just behind Nukes. It's the two states' largest RV dealers, Wheels and Moix RV. They're teaming up to bring you brands like Grand Design, Jayco, Brinkley, and Flagstaff, Coachman, Canalita, Vibe, and Winnebago, plus on-site financing available. There's going to be a variety of vendors, bounce house for the kids, and so much more. Make plans. It's coming up here in a few weeks at the NWA RV Show and Outdoor Party, April 12th and 13th. One more time, the address, 5102 West Pauline Whitaker Parkway in Rogers. Kevin's also in Rogers. He wants to talk some Arkansas basketball. Kevin, good morning.
Hey, Ty, how's it going? Sorry I couldn't get on the show on Saturday or even yesterday. Wanted to talk to you. I didn't know Tommy was in Hawaii, but hey, and I told you, I know how everybody was when they were 0-5. And me, you, and Tommy, when I'd call, we talk about that and all that stuff. And I said we had to get to the 8 wins, and we did. You know, not everybody was excited. I mean, I'm sure you were even a little doubtful whether we'd make it or not, and a lot of fans were. But this team stuck together, played exceptionally well. What I don't like, there's a couple things. First of all, this team is not a Cinderella team. You can find another 10 seed as loaded as this one. I'm so sick of hearing that. Even some of the announcers are like, even Lapis said, kind of tough for a 10 seed. I mean, you know, it's just where we laid out. I mean, you know, he took a number 8 seed Kentucky to the national title game, if you remember that, with the two Harrison twins.
That was
so
20.
I mean,
you know what? Know something funny about that year, Kevin? Is Arkansas beat that team twice in Rupp and in Budwall, and the Michael Qualls dunk,
right.
and then they went to Rupp.
That's right.
And we still
That's right. I
they
looked
still
at
didn't
that
make
last
the tournament
night.
that year.
But what I want to say this is real crucial. The selection committee really underseeded Texas Tech. We really should have been playing them in the second round as opposed to St. John's, because if you look at all the analytics, they were 7 spots higher than St. John's in the net. They were top 7. I mean, they're a really good basketball team. I mean, and they remind me of the Alabama teams from a few years back. Alabama still shoots a lot of threes, but not as many as they have in the past. They shot 46 in their first round game. Yep. 46. I mean, so this is by far, in my opinion, and a lot of people I have talked to that on the national beat and all that, this will be our toughest game to date because St. John's does.
Kevin, let me ask you this. You mentioned Lapis there. I know there's been plenty of other pundits that have come out against Arkansas initially. Is there a pundit you want to stick it to and say, "I told you so. You were wrong. Screw you for downing this team"? And John Calipari, like who is the national guy that you've been so sick of these last few months?
Well, it's always the same one, and you can answer that question even when Muss was there. It's Seth. I mean, it's Seth, not Seth Greenberg. It's Seth from CBS. I mean, he actually apologized. Yeah, Seth Davis. I mean, he never likes Arkansas. You know, I mean, now, and John's right. We're going to be an underdog in this game. You know, I mean, and I predicted, and I had friends call me. He goes, "Man, you stuck with him." I said that, and I told my wife, my friends, I said, if he gets to the Sweet 16 his first year, very first year, no players, one player he brought back, you know, Trevon. I mean, that's a pretty darn good year. And with what they went through to get there, come on. I mean, I just hope if Thero does play and Boogie plays that he doesn't change how he starts the team. I mean, I think he needs to continue to bring Boogie off the bench. Those guys have earned that right, and I think he will. But to beat Texas Tech, I believe we're going to have to make 7 or more 3-pointers. I do.
Okay.
They didn't shoot as many. They didn't shoot as many in the Drake game because they didn't have to. Plus, they were cold. they dominated the paint because Drake just didn't have any guys to contend with that. So I think if we get to 7, and in our defense and the guys play hard, for sure, I think we can go to the next round. I mean, I'm excited. It's a late game. I mean, here we go, complaining about the late games again. It'll be 1 o'clock if they win by the time any of us decide to go to bed because we'll be so revved up. I mean, but that's all I got. I wanted to get your thoughts on that.
You'll take that, though, won't you, Kevin? You'll take being revved up if they win and have
absolutely. Absolutely. Have you heard anything, and I know John had talked about it, do you think we're going to get most of these guys back? I can't imagine Richmond or Knox transferring because their parents played there or family played there. I know Jonas is gone, and Jonas and Nellie's gone. I can't imagine DJ getting in the draft just yet. I think he's going to come back. I mean, he should. And I don't see those guys that have family ties to Cal transferring. I just want to get your thoughts on that, too.
Thanks, Kevin. If you want to call or text us here on the Lewis Automotive Group hotline, do so at 877-377-6963. As far as the players coming back for this next season, Cal touched on that a little bit on the Dan Patrick show yesterday. I have Brandon Baker on social media does a great job of compiling this list that has the Arkansas players that are going, staying, and then this next season. So you got the 3 freshmen, Kevin, that are coming in, Darius Acuff, Malik Thomas, Isaiah Sealy, that Kareem Ratal. We'll see if they get Nate Ament. If they get Nate Ament, that's their 15th spot. Trevin has the ability to come back, as does Theo, DJ, Visich, Carter, Boogie, Billy, Carl Roletta, and Chavis all have eligibility this next year. I would expect that Boogie Flan, unless he just gets poorly evaluated when the job. But it's a good question. Something, again, Cal, in addition to the transfer portal, has to contemplate and figure that out. All right, I'm excited to talk to this player. We were talking little state capitals last night. We're going to talk some Arkansas basketball now with our friend Tom Murphy.
It's the winners in the centers bracket, and they've got Rick Pitino in there with them, too. 3 of the 4 coaches already in the Hall of Fame are in this bracket, so Providence has got it going on.
Tom Murphy is brought to you by the Arkansas Beef Council. Beef, it's what's for dinner.
Well, Tom, we were in a capital of the United States state this past weekend as we went down to Providence, Rhode Island, watch Arkansas defeat both the Kansas Jayhawks and the St. John's Red Storm. And you kind of alluded to it last week, just the setup of Bill Self and also Rick Pitino team with John Calipari. I'd say of those 2 games, those lived up to the billing, and I don't know if I can say that about a good chunk of other games this tournament.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing that John Calipari's team is peaking right now, and all the things they've been through, all the personnel changes, the injuries, and what have you, and they've found their legs. Now even with Ivisic slowed up with his wrist. So of all the great coaches, the Hall of Fame coaches, Cal came up out on top from Providence, which is basically the back door of New York City. There, they had one of the shortest routes of anybody for the first 2 rounds of the tournament, and here they are now moving on to California, San Francisco, and it's just really been an amazing story. Arkansas is a 10 seed advancing this far.
So, Tom, we took a call from Kevin earlier on the Lewis Automotive Group hotline, and he doesn't like the label Cinderella. I know Cal's really bought in on the underdog mentality. Do you consider this team a Cinderella story heading the rest of the way?
Well, I mean, it depends on I'm not real big on labeling a team in a certain manner, but they've certainly been one of the more impressive of the double-digit seeds, if not the most impressive. Here's the thing. When Arkansas put together this roster, they were supposed to be really good. We just didn't expect all the injuries and having to really test the depth the way they did. So Texas Tech, as I heard the previous caller saying, very good team. They don't get a whole lot of national publicity. Kind of remind me like kind of a Mississippi State of the Big 12. But they're going to be a very solid team. You could tell when Grant McCaslin was at North Texas. He's a really good coach, and he's brought that to Texas Tech. They don't hang their hat on anything in particular other than being a very efficient offense and being tough. So Arkansas's rebounding, which I think has been one of the underrated facets of their run, rebounding and toughness for Arkansas are going to have to show up in this game.
Tom, you mentioned them being so efficient offensively. By the way, we're talking with Tom Murphy, Whole Hog Sports, Arkansas Democrat Gazette, friends, courtesy of the Arkansas Beef Council. Top 5 most efficient offensive team in college basketball. Kansas had a bad offense under Bill Self. Rick Pitino's team their calling card was defense. I mean, how much of a change are we going to have to see from Arkansas this weekend in terms of just being able to score points based on the opponent that they'll play in San Francisco?
Right, got to pick it up defensively for sure. And then Arkansas's offensive efficiency's got to be good. Here's the thing. You look at their matchups and like, oh, St. John's, they're really tough. They're a really great offensive rebounding team. But Arkansas neutralized that. They got plenty of offensive rebounds and second chance points, but Arkansas kind of beat them to the punch a little bit by building the lead. So with Texas Tech, like I said, not a lot of hype, but Toppin is a really good player. This is not going to be a walk in the park by any stretch. And, I think I agree. I think they're going to have to hit some threes in this game and just be a lot more efficient offensively.
Toppin had 25 and 12 rebounds their last game against Drake to get him to the Sweet 16. He's had a really good season, 18 points a game, 9 rebounds, and shooting 56%. Matt Jones said this is the best player that Arkansas have played thus far in the tournament, and I'm not so sure that I'm pretty sure that he's right on that based on what he can do. No disrespect to Hunter Dickinson, but this kid can play when you get to Thursday. Tom, I wonder when you look at Arkansas and the other matchups, any surprise that 7 teams made the Sweet 16, or is that kind of the number you were expecting?
Well, I mean, I wouldn't have predicted Ole Miss to make the Sweet 16. 7 is a really good number for the SEC, and they have their power team, so to speak. Florida, Tennessee, Alabama, Auburn's still alive, which are, big time seeds. So I think at the very beginning I heard, would you take the SEC or the field? And excuse me. And I think Wally Zerviak said he would take the SEC. And at this point, I don't know what the odds look like or anything like that, but there's some very powerful SEC teams, and there's teams like Arkansas and Ole Miss that have really, battled their way to making it to the final 16.
Yeah, I tend to think that you're going to see 2 teams from the SEC in the Final Four after this weekend. Tennessee and Kentucky, the only SEC teams that will play in the the Sweet 16, and then we'll see if we have matchups beyond that for the SEC in the Final Four as well. Tom, outside of basketball, I know it'll tie into basketball, but the University of Arkansas officially put out the release of Remy Cofield, the deputy athletics director and GM for Razorback Athletics. This was thought to be happening because John Rothstein put it out, and it wasn't official just yet, about a week or so ago. Now it's official. What are some of the questions you maybe have on how he can affect Arkansas athletics moving forward?
Well, that's a really good question. He's going to have to just be very, very well versed in what revenue sharing is going to look like, what percentage is going to go to the student athletes, how it's broken down by sport, and I mean that's got to be his top stuff. I mean, he's got to know the numbers inside and out, how much they'd be willing to, to give in each sport and per athlete. And it's a tough task, but when you're in the NBA, I don't know, he's been more on the scouting side of things, it looks like, but that's one of the qualities that they have to have. And in college athletics now, Arkansas needed to get with the times, and they have, and it's a very key position. Hopefully it will take a whole lot off of Calipari, Sam Pittman, and the other head coaches in terms of what their roster composition looks like and what the financial breakdown looks like.
All right, Tom. As we let you go here, I know football is kind of taking a back seat. They've got their spring break, I guess, this week, and then they'll be back for some more football stuff. We've heard from a few players, Taylor and Green. Anything stand out to you for the first couple weeks of spring with football?
Well, I haven't been as plugged in, obviously, with my situation as I could be. But I'm going to try to get back after it at some point when practice resumes. I would just say that it's just, to me, the newness. So many new players, so many new key guys at different positions, on the offensive line. There's been a huge shuffle. So many new pass receivers catching the balls from Taylor. And then so much change on defense. They're going to have to add some players. Sorry, I can't talk much longer, Ty, but I enjoy being with you.
Well, and I was gonna say, Tom, I appreciate your time, man. Love hearing from you. Love catching up with you, and we'll do so soon. Okay, buddy.
Sounds good, man. Take care. Enjoy your trip to California.
Thanks, Tom. That's our buddy Tom Murphy, Whole Hog Sports, Arkansas Democrat-Gazette. I think most of you know the kind of the situation cancer-wise that Tom's dealing with right now. So just keep him in mind, keep him in your prayers and everything else when it comes to him, his family, and not just his actual family, but his Whole Hog Sports and Arkansas Democrat-Gazette family as well. He's one of the good guys in Arkansas sports media. There's no question about that. Our conversations with Tom Murphy always brought to you by the Arkansas Beef Council. On a cattle ranch, calves aren't only raised by their mother. They're raised by a community of farmers, ranchers, veterinarians committed to giving them the most healthiest and most comfortable life possible. Because of these cattle farmers, ranchers, and their moms of those baby calves, animal welfare is a top priority. Together, we can bring more beef. It's What's for Dinner, funded by the Beef Council's farmers and ranchers, courtesy of beefitswhatsfordinner.com. That's beefitswhatsfordinner.com. Text in here from Jim and Fayetteville here on the Lewis Automotive Group hotline. Heard you talking about fish earlier, Ty. If you dig seafood, make sure you get down to the Wharf waterfront and find Skoma's Restaurant, the best. Jim in Fayetteville. So the Wharf, we were talking about, don't go to the Tenderloin, one of the more dangerous places, not just San Francisco, but out west. But the Wharf is someone got to go out there back in 2022. It is a really, really cool place, highly entertaining, and there is some really good seafood out there for those that are making the trip. I think a lot of people obviously want to know what's going on with the new Thero. Don't have an update, like just a rock-solid anything update just yet. Here was Chuck Martin on Chuck and Bo yesterday on his status.
It's day by day. He's been working really, really hard with the medical staff, and I don't know anything other than day by day. He's really trying to put himself in the best position, and we're just kind of following his lead and see what happens.
So that was tough yesterday. That was yesterday. Coach Martin talking with Chuck and Bo discussing Duke here. We haven't heard anything. I don't know if we'll truly know anything, Colton, until about 10 or 15 minutes. We might see a dude warm up in the pregame and everything else, but until we actually see him check in come Thursday night, might be something we have to wait on.
Yeah, that'll probably be something that they're just going to keep in-house for a little while. And also, a dude just also has to recover. I mean, a lot of this that, they get from Coach Cal is mostly coach speak. It's day-to-day, things like that. But some of that is true. You never know if one day, this isn't it's hurting worse than before. This isn't a situation like Boogie, like Tommy's talked about, where, you can stay in condition because it's a hand injury. I do hurt his, it's hurt his knee, his legs. It's going to be something that keeps you from jumping and moving and staying in basketball shape. So they're also probably trying to make sure that he's at that level as well to compete in a really high-level NCAA tournament game. And, I think Coach Cal is going to protect his players at the end of the day. But you said it. I don't think that we'll hear very much about it like we have in the past about, injuries. I think they'll be a little bit more closer to the belt with this one.
Yeah, I just don't expect we're going to hear anything about that till later on when it actually could see him on the court or see him check in. I kind of like Kevin and Roger's point, though. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't think that they'll insert a Dew into the starting lineup as the 4. I think they're pretty set in stone for what they've been doing. I think Trev's done a pretty admirable job there. And I think bringing him off the bench like Cal has Boogie is the recipe to go, but we'll just have to wait and see what he figures it out.
Yeah, bringing Adu off the bench actually creates something really interesting for your team. It allows guys that maybe aren't the best offensively to focus more on defense in that first session to be able to get a good get a good lead going and then stop them from scoring, and then you bring Adu in off the bench and all of a sudden your 6-point lead turns into a 12-point lead, and because he's able to get into the lane and get points and score at the free throw line. So Coach Cal knows what they're going to be able to do with him, and if he didn't put Boogie back in, and Boogie, that's his prize pupil right there. So if he didn't put him back into the lineup and try and fit that square peg into a round hole in the NCAA tournament, I imagine they'll take the same course of action with Darrow.
Yeah, no, you're exactly right. All right, we've got still a lot to discuss in your SEC update coming up, including who Texas hired as their new head basketball coach this weekend. If you are looking for something to do, look no further than Oaklawn. Not only can you bet on horses anytime with Oaklawn anywhere, and you can do the same with the games this week in Oaklawn Sports. Arkansas still a betting underdog heading into this Texas Tech game come Thursday night. New customers can earn up to $1,000 in bonus bets with Oaklawn Sports. Make sure you take advantage of that. $10 or 10% profit boost for new and existing customers on 3-leg parlays that qualify. Again, you can take advantage of that. Odds a plus 1,000 that can turn into a parlay with odds a plus 1,100. Check out Oaklawn Sports on the Apple Store and Google Play as well. And if you, again, want to take in the Oaklawn Sportsbook this weekend, you can do so. You can always take advantage of horse racing on Oaklawn anywhere, but they've got the Arkansas Derby going on this week. I've got several friends that are heading to Hot Springs this weekend for my buddy's birthday. They're going to have a great time at Oaklawn and enjoying everything that comes with the Arkansas Derby week, Friday through Sunday. That is all in Oaklawn in Hot Springs. Take advantage with either Oaklawn Anywhere, the horse racing, and Oaklawn Sports to bet on Arkansas games and all the NCAA tournament games, not just the weekend, but in weeks beyond. We come back with your SEC update. We're live in Dallas, Texas, heading to San Francisco, California for the Sweet 16.
We're live in San Francisco this week at the NCAA tournament. Our coverage is presented by the Stadium Shop on Razorback, Mock Legal Solutions, real advice, reasonable price. By Big Cypress Lodge. Visit big-cypress.com to plan your next Memphis getaway. And by Warden Sun Plumbing, LLC. They're located in Elm Springs, Arkansas.
Arkansas is headed to the Sweet 16.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
Spring camping season is here. Don't miss the NWA RV Show and Outdoor Party, April 12th and 13th at 5102 West Pauline Whitaker Parkway in Rogers, just behind Newt's. Sponsored by two of the state's largest RV dealers, Wheels RV and Moix RV. With brands you love like Grand Design, Jayco, Brinkley, Flagstaff, Coachman, Catalina, Vibe, and Winnebago, and on-site financing available. There will be a variety of vendors and bounce house for the kids and so much more. So make plans now to attend the NWA RV Show and Outdoor Party, April 12th and 13th, 5102 West Pauline Whitaker Parkway, Rogers.
Decisions aren't hard when no matter what you choose, you win. Like with Taco Bell's new $5, $7, and $9 Lux Cravings boxes. Choose from the $5 Classic box with iconic favorites like a beefy 5-layer burrito, the $7 Supreme box with the Chicken Chalupa Supreme, and more. Or find new obsessions in the $9 Discovery box. Get yours at Taco Bell today. At participating Taco Bell stores for a limited time only while supplies last. Price and participation varies. Drinks excludes freezes. Tax extra.
Adu calling for it. He's got it with 5 to shoot. Richmond comes to get it. His jumper. Yes! Billy the Kid with a big bucket.
This is the Morning Rush.
Up to $10,000 off on select GMC Sierras at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. The GMC Sierra will conquer the road with confidence. Up to $10,000 off. Or lease the all-new 2025 GMC Hummer EV. With hands-free driving assistance, go 0 to 60 in under 3 seconds for as low as $800 a month. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. We are professional grade. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
Hey, Ty Richardson at my favorite place, Papa's Pub and Pizzeria, 508 Garrison Avenue. And Cricket, we always talk about specials. Wednesday, ladies' night. I know you love Wednesdays here.
I love my Wednesdays. All the ladies come out. We have $5.99 small cheesy bread. We have pink panty droppers on special. We've got blow bombs on special. And it's all about ladies on a Wednesday here at Pop.
Papa's Pub and Pizzeria, the best darn pizza in Fort Smith, perhaps the world. Cricket, what do you think about Papa's Pub and Pizzeria?
I think it's the best darn pizza in Fort Smith and perhaps the world.
Valley Family Dental at the entrance to Riley Farms provides every type of dental care and procedure for you and your family. General dentistry, braces, implants, same-day crowns, and cosmetics. Dr. Sparkman, Farmer, and now Dr. Blaine Van Nice work to give all of their patients a better life with a better smile. Valley Family Dental, 5901 Riley Park Drive, Suite A at the entrance to Riley Farms. Let them know you heard this on ESPN Radio and receive $300 off a store card. Valley Family Dental, 479-226-3500 for an appointment or visit valleyfamilydentalpractice.com.
It's Markdown Madness at Harry Robinson, Salisaw Ford, 1 mile south of exit 308 off I-40 in Salisaw. Savings up to $15,000 off on Ford F-150s, and you can shoot a hoop, make up to $500.
All you have to do is go on a test drive. Come down here. The excitement is high. The energy is high here at Harry Robinson, Salisaw Ford. We've got a lot of awesome deals going on right now. We added up all of the discounts on the remaining 24s, over $250,000 in discounts. So come down here and see us. This is where you want to buy your new Ford. If you want to save some money, you've got a little bit of negative equity, we can help you with that right now at Harry Robinson, Salisaw Ford.
All right, I got to ask about this goal. You got a goal right here by the front door. What's the deal with it?
Man, all you have to do, go on a test drive. You get a shot. We got 3 different spots, 50, 100, and up to $500. All you have to do, make a shot on the basketball goal and win some money.
Markdown Madness, Harry Robinson, Salisaw Ford, 1 mile south of exit 308 off I-40 in Salisaw.
Hey, this is Dr. Charlie Liggett with River Valley Smile Center. We dial 782-8940.
Coach Todd Holland, head baseball coach of the University of Arkansas Fort Smith Lions. I call 782-8940.
Stay cool this summer with a York high-efficiency HVAC unit. Or for more information on endless hot water and high-efficiency tankless water heaters, give us a call at 782-8940.
That's 782-8940.
Take your dining to a whole new level at Blue Point Seafood and Steak Restaurant. You'll find the finest cuts of steak and the freshest seafood in an amazing atmosphere. Blue Point Seafood and Steak Restaurant is at Chaffee Crossing, across from the Arkansas Colleges of Health Education on Chad Colley Drive. When your night deserves the best, call 597-4081 for reservations or book online at Toast. Blue Point Seafood and Steak Restaurant, your destination for not only great food, but an amazing experience.
Ready to explore beyond the beaten path? Discover the Range Rover lineup at Land Rover of Little Rock. Experience handcrafted luxury with the capability to take on any adventure. The elegant Range Rover offers unmatched performance and first-class luxury. The Range Rover is built for every journey. Visit Land Rover of Little Rock today and explore our incredible Range Rover selection. Plus, take advantage of our promotions and recently revamped service department. Visit us at 25 Colonel Glenn Plaza Drive or log on at LandRoverLittleRock.com.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
The SEC is the best conference in America.
The tough will survive in this game, and I feel like the SEC is the toughest.
Arkansas is the SEC champion.
You know, every game is a dogfight. We're about the tough there is. Week in and week out, you're going to play some of the best, the biggest, the fastest.
The Hogs are finally the first SEC tournament championship for Arkansas.
Where opponents' dreams come to die.
This is your SEC update on the Morning Rush.
No, not worried about them.
That was when John Calipari was on the Dan Patrick Show yesterday. Again, asked about the Kentucky Wildcats. Again, pretty simple statement.
No, not worried about them.
And yet Kentucky fans seem to be really worried about John Calipari. I'm really hoping Bruce Stanton's Tennessee Volunteers beats them. Kentucky got the better of them twice this season. It's really hard to beat a good team 3 times. Cole and I think we can all agree that Tennessee is a really good basketball team, and hopefully they show that come this weekend against the Kentucky Wildcats.
Well, Ty, I hate orange, but I've never loved it more than what I will whenever they go up against Kentucky. Just the way that those depraved morons over there from that state have just been all up in every single possible post on Twitter from Razorback Socials since the beginning of this Calipari chapter in Fayetteville. You think that when we went over there and kicked their butt and their teeth in, they would learn a little bit of grace and humility and they would shut up for a little bit, but no chance.
It's not in their nature. Not in their nature. Texas did hire their new basketball coach, apparently, Sean Miller, who's longtime coach at Arizona Xavier. Former LSU coach Will Wade is heading to North Carolina State along with Amir Khan, and now you got managers talking about the transfer portal now.
I didn't know the transfer portal was a thing for student managers, but so I would say I'm not, I'm still here at McNeese doing my thing, trying to focus on being a student, even though it's been tough over the last few weeks. And I think I just got home, so it's gonna take a few weeks to figure out everything. But yeah, right now I'm just locked in on McNeese.
He held a boombox tie. And he has 7 or 8 triple-figure NIL deals right now. Good for him. That's the American dream. That's what March Madness is all about. That's big time.
Man, I wish you and I were at that camp. But
Me too.
He's going to Raleigh to join Will Wade at NC State. Apparently, Josh Pastner's taking the UNLV coaching job. I don't know if there's any other. Nick Pringle, former South Carolina Gamecock.
I saw where the coach from Arkansas State's headed to South Florida.
Yep, that's another one on that. So those are kind of some SEC moves that I think are relevant to Arkansas fans. I asked Tom the expectation of the SEC, and I'll go and put this out on air too. I probably kept Tom a little too long. That's my apologies on that. That was not malicious or with ill intent or any way. I probably should have I felt bad, and I will put my hand up on that and say that I probably held him too long. But as far as the expectations the SEC are concerned, I guess I was asking Bruce about this, Colton. Do you anticipate 2 teams making the Final Four? I mean, you've got a scenario where all 4 teams from the conference could make the Final Four. You've got one Sweet 16 matchup with Tennessee and Kentucky, and then you'll have potentially Arkansas and Florida, Ole Miss, and I had this written down, Ole Miss and Auburn, and then Bama doesn't play a team till the Final Four, so if they just win out, they'll be in. What's a good number in your opinion?
I think you hit the nail on the head right there with 2. I think coming in from both sides of the bracket by the time that you reach the Final Four is the most probably statistically likely thing to happen, and I think that that's okay. That's still half of the teams in the Final Four from one conference, which I know 2 isn't a large number, but if you get to 3, I think that might be it would take a lot of really other good basketball teams to lose. I mean, it would probably take a team like Alabama to get beat by BYU, and BYU looked really good the other night against Wisconsin. And so, Kentucky and Tennessee, those teams that are kind of facing off with each other later on, like you said, there's only one SEC team right now that won't face another SEC team on the way to the Final Four, right? So I think 2 is probably going to be your number, but at the end of the day, Ty, we talked about it last week a little bit. Getting 7 teams here is like nothing to scoff at. That's the record, and it's definitely, if it hasn't already, the landscape of college basketball is certainly shifting southeast.
All right, that is your SEC update here this morning. It's brought to you by our friends at APAC Arcola. When it comes to APAC Arcola, it's the #1 source for top quality aggregates, asphalt, and ready-mix concrete. Whether you're working on a small residential project or a large-scale commercial job, APAC has you covered. No job is too big or too small. You need expert advice? Our construction and consultant services ensure that you're always on the right track. Call 479-587-3300 for all your rock, asphalt, and ready-mix needs. APAC and Standard Materials Group, 479-587-3300 for APAC and Standard Materials Group. Now, we played a cut in our open of Coach Nolan Richardson, who met with the team after Arkansas beat St. John's in the round of 32. Coach Richardson, of course, had battles with Rick Pitino back in the day as well. And that was one of the questions. I'm going to be honest, I actually really enjoyed talking to Coach Pitino on Wednesday. I thought that was a cool thing to be able to do and hear from him. It was better when Arkansas won, of course, that Thursday. But listen to Coach Richardson and his speech to the team from Arkansas basketball.
First of all, you have done a magnificent job. You don't know what you have accomplished because you're right on top of it. You should walk with a swagger, because if I'm the coach, got to play you, you're beginning to peak. Can you imagine the rest of them has peaked to the level where I think this is it for them? The ground will continue to be better. It's getting better. That's the best way to go into any tournament. But I got you in the Final Four. What does that mean? Got to get there. You do. I don't. But the most important game is your very next game. One for all for one.
Still got it all these years later. So, a couple things I want to draw for that. One, I love how he's like, yeah, I've got y'all in my Final Four. Love that. Two, it's like he mentioned kind of them peaking. He doesn't feel like they have. As we sit here at 10:38 on a Tuesday morning getting ready for this Texas Tech game, I think Coach is right. If they get a do-back, what could this team blossom into? And I'm not going to say there's not going to be bumps and bruises during the course of a game, and they'll still have a dry spell. This team's prone to that, unfortunately. But we've seen the last week, like, this team has another level that they can get to, and Boogie coming back has done more help than it's done hurt. So if Adu comes back or these guys just plays the A as the R, I mean, what is the ceiling? What is the level? Coach Richardson thinks it's a Final Four. Colton, what do you think?
Ty, I think one of the most undersold facets of the entire team this year is not just the fact that they've been injured and lost, great players and their scoring and their production, but at the beginning of the season, you had to sort of figure out who the guys were. Everybody was sort of clawing and scratching to get their own, and there was no sense of consensus amongst the team. It's why you started 0-5 in SEC play. It wasn't until their backs were against the wall that they had to use every single asset and every single, ounce of ability from every single person they had left on the team in order to just stay in the games. Did they realize that what Coach Cal had been preaching of all for one and doing this as a team and this togetherness and no player is bigger than the program or themselves, they finally bought into that. And that's what's powered this run. Not just the injuries and the players coming back, but obviously Jonas getting healthy and Janelle Davis getting healthy and Boogie coming back is great. But these guys have really bought into the fact that they cannot win and they won't win without everybody, getting their own. And so I think that's been the biggest thing. And Coach Richardson, he definitely knows how to get the most out of everybody because, Ty, we're living in a time right now where this is the longest stretch of success for your basketball program that you've had since that guy blew the whistle up there. So it's important to realize the perspective of these are the same players. And Coach Richardson coached his players the same way, where everybody was equal and there was no superstars. It was 40 minutes of hell, every man fighting for every man. And Coach Cal's embodied a lot of the same thing, and that's why they've gotten to this point.
Keeps bringing Coach Richardson back into the fold, which I think is pretty cool. Hey, I want to congratulate our buddy Wade York, who did some success on the golf course last week. Not always Wade a good golfer from time to time, but he also whips up some good barbecue at Arts Barbecue on Rogers Avenue in Fort Smith. They've got lighter options if you're kind of seeking. I'm going to be honest, I've gained some weight lately. I need to get back into the get back on the wagon. I was
you need those salads from Arts. You need those salads from over there.
Grilled chicken, fish, low carb entrees and sides. Plus, they smoke all their meats in house. When it comes to their ham, turkey, and other meats, those house-made salads Colton just referred to, easy. And if you do want a burger, which a lot of us do, you can get $1 off it every Saturday. Arts Barbecue, burgers, and more on Rogers Avenue next to Buddy's in Fort Smith. Now, I think, again, John Calipari in a situation right now where he's really held on to the underdog role. There has been like a thing where he's also taken on, like, the Magic still.
Why don't we let magic happen? Give it a chance. Go be us. Just be who we are.
They don't have to necessarily change much. Texas Tech is going to shoot a lot of threes on you Thursday night. Arkansas does not need to get into track meet by shooting 43s. They will lose that basketball game. Stay as you are, do what you've been doing, and you'll probably wind up in a good situation down the stretch at the very end of the basketball game if you stay put on that. I did find it funny, though, like listening to Cal yesterday on Dan Patrick, even maybe he wavered a little bit with this team earlier.
I knew we weren't bad. Well, I wasn't sure.
We all felt
and
that
his
way.
face, his face was like that. And one of the what he kind of went on to talk about is like the SEC and like South Carolina, LSU. I think we consider a bad basketball teams, but if they played in another league like he talked about, would they really be that bad? We're not going to find out, but that is something that I know he's pushed when it comes to how tough that league is, and it kind of goes back to the question I just asked you about the SEC teams. I mean, you got 7 in the Sweet 16. You might have 2 in the Final Four as well, Colton.
Yeah, this conference this year has just been fantastic, and Coach Cal being unsure, it just goes to show that he's human, and that we all have to go through these things and motivate these things in order to rally together. It's been one of those things that he's preached in every single press conference and interview he's done on TV or radio or wherever since we've kind of gone on this run here after the rough start. It's that maybe we weren't sure. I mean, there were some guys in dark places, some guys that had to overcome things, but what got them through it was the fact that all those people came from good places. That's why Cal recruited them, and they had the mental and testicular fortitude to tough it out and go out there and, give their everything for their guys and for the guys that sweat with them every day. And it's been a really great run to be able to be a part of this. And, as a fan, to watch these guys not only win, but also now that we see more coverage of them, like on Twitter and from the team's social media pages, like as they're going on this run, Ty, it makes them more personable. It makes the fans love them more. I mean, and it's great. Yeah. Since Jonas Adu has kind of come into his own here recently, I mean, they did a hog pod with him, lots of different interviews, and he sounds different from when he got here. And it's really endeared this team to the fans a lot more. And when this conference is so tough, you need your fans to be with you.
Cal, I think we're referred to him as the nicest young man, or one of the nicest young men he's ever coached in Providence, Rhode Island. All right, as we've got our CJ's Butcher Boy Trivia Tuesday coming up in just one bit. We're in Dallas this morning on our way to San Francisco. Can't wait to get out west and see all that. I'm staying at my aunt and uncle's house, and whenever my aunt comes in to Arkansas, there's one thing she always wants, and that is Andy's frozen custard. You can get it on Rogers Avenue in Fort Smith, plus the other great locations in Conway, at 201 East Oak Street Drive, and on Dave Ward Drive across from UCA. Don't forget about the Andes in North Little Rock on JFK Boulevard as well. I think she gets the funky jackhammer, if I remember that right. I'm a Cookie Go concrete man. You don't have to just get one. You can mix and match 6 of your favorite flavors. I always get concretes. I know a lot of my friends get the Pick Six. A lot of listeners take advantage of that. Again, swing by Andy's Frozen Custard today at Rogers Avenue in Fort Smith, the 2 locations in Conway, and don't forget about JFK Boulevard in North Little Rock. Andy's Frozen Custard, walk up or drive through. They're ready to serve you. When we come back, we've got our final segment here on the Morning Rush on a Tuesday. It will also get into John Calipari and what he had to say following his conversation with Dan Patrick as we continue on the Morning Rush.
Or text the Lewis Automotive Group hotline, 877-377-6963. Lewis Automotive Group, the ultimate challenge is back with the ultimate selection, ultimate savings, ultimate financing, and the ultimate amount for your trade.
Looking for a way to get your favorite blowers from Pradco at the click of a button? Learner.com not only has brands such as Rebel, Yum, Booyah, and more, but the site includes exclusive deals and baits you won't find anywhere else for your favorite brands. We have free shipping for all U.S. orders over $35, so be sure to treat your favorite fishing buddy or yourself to some new tackle box treasures. Check out Learner.com today.
Spring camping season is here. Don't miss the NWA RV Show and Outdoor Party, April 12th and 13th at 5102 West Pauline Whitaker Parkway in Rogers, just behind Newt's. Sponsored by 2 of the state's largest RV dealers, Wheels RV and Moix RV. With brands you love like Grand Design, Jayco, Brinkley, Flagstaff, Coachman, Catalina, Vibe, and Winnebago, and on-site financing available. There will be a variety of vendors and bounce house for the kids and so much more. So make plans now to attend the NWA RV Show and Outdoor Party, April 12th and 13th, 5102 West Pauline Whitaker Parkway, Rogers.
Taco Bell's new caliente sauce made with red jalapenos is the spicy side of Cantina chicken. But does that mean everything has a spicy side? Like your cactus plant. It's like your other plants, but spicy. Or your coworker who says they hate everyone who works here, but you work here. Or when you say, I don't mean to be rude, but you do mean to be rude. But now you can feed your spicy side with Caliente Cantina chicken from Taco Bell. At participating Taco Bell stores for a limited time only while supplies last. Contact store for availability.
Gentlemen, I do pipeline inspections, so I'm actually calling from California. Great show, by the way.
This is the Morning Rush.
Hi, folks. Larry Rath here for Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center, where all we do is keep you rolling. This is the best time of year to save on a great selection of road-ready certified used cars with warranty. Plus, act now and take advantage of $1,000 cash your way on select inventory for even more savings. Don't forget to follow us on Facebook for fun-free contests and money-saving specials. All the happiest drivers are rolling with Rath. Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center, Fort Smith.
Locally owned Lumber One can handle all of your building needs. They've built their business on having great relationships with everybody from contractors and builders to the everyday build-it-yourself. Lumber One is a full-line door shop to handle all of your door, window, and trim needs. And along with lumber, roofing and drywall products, attic wall and floor insulation is available. Lumber One also does blueprint takeoff with access to design services with estimates available. So go where the pros go. Lumber One, located on Industrial Park Road in Van Buren.
I'm ignorant when it comes to a lot of topics. Thankfully, I listened to my friend's advice on the housing market and called Jeff Marks at Weicker Realtors, the Griffin Company. Jeff made the process smoother than Mama's gravy.
Ty, you got to throw in some homemade biscuits with that gravy and a great local real estate professional to guide you down the right path. One of the keys is knowing what to do and certainly what not to do.
You communicated and were transparent throughout the process.
Ty, like you, anyone can call me, Jeff Marks, at 479-414-1193. For your big decisions, I have simple solutions.
Budweiser, the American lager. A time-honored recipe, true to our original process, brewed using the choicest hops, rice, and best barley malt, delivering great quality beer since 1876. Budweiser. This Bud's for you. Enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2024 Anheuser-Busch Budweiser Lager Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
I doubt you thought paint was anything like football, right? So you've got a favorite football team. Your painting team at the paint store in Van Buren gets you a solid primer, the perfect color, and a durable defense. That is what you want, right? Our team of Richards Paint and expertise always win for you. Whether contractor or do-it-yourself, we have the best team. The Paint Store in Van Buren. Go Hogs!
Hey, Ty Richardson, we're at Wheeler Power Sports in downtown Fort Smith. Ethan, you guys have a massive event coming up May 2nd and May the 3rd.
We will have the Kawasaki Good Times demo truck here for Kawasaki demo rides, games, and prizes. Rollin' Smoke Barbecue food truck will also be here, and on that Friday, Ruskin and Zach will report live from the event. That is the Steel Horse Rally weekend. See our Facebook page for all the details and updates.
That's Wheeler Power Sports, 901 North 11th Street in downtown Fort Smith, keeping the good times rolling since 1967.
It's Markdown Madness at Harry Robinson, Salisaw Ford, 1 mile south of exit 308 off I-40 in Salisaw. Take a test drive, shoot a hoop, get up to $500 on your way to saving up to $15,000 off on select units.
Yes, you know, the 2024 Ford F-150, #1 selling truck for over 40 years. And right now you can come down to Harry Robinson Salisaw Ford and you can pick up a new 24 and save up to $15,000 off. And hey, we've got our test drive. Go on a test drive. You get a chance. You see that giant basketball goal setting up there. You can win up to $500 cash.
All you got to do is take a test drive.
All you got to do is go on a test drive. You get a shot. You make it. You can win up to $500 cash.
Huge savings right now. Markdown Madness. And again, up to $15,000 off on Ford F-150s. Harry Robinson, Salisaw Ford, 1 mile south of exit 308 off I-40 in Salisaw. And shop online at harryrobinson.com.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3. The Hit That Line Now app is ready for you to download from the Apple and Google Play stores. Sponsored by Taco Bell. Live Moss.
All right, back here on the Morning Rush. We're live in Dallas, about to head to San Francisco. Just a bit, we got our trivia coming up. Before we get into our trivia, we're brought to you this morning by Burton Pools and Spas. It is the spring swim event going on right now. Huge splash, giving away 4 Intex pools worth $2,000. You can enter at one of their 3 locations: Fort Smith, Greenland, and in Springdale. Hurry in to the spring swim event at Burton Pools and Spas. Water for a better life. Go to burnpools.com, and again, one of those 3 locations: Fort Smith, Springdale, and Greenland, for your chance to win. So, Colton, when we do this trivia, we're going to do it a little differently today. Usually you have to call in, but in this time, you have to text in here on the Lewis Automotive Group hotline the answer to our CJ's Trivia Tuesday question. The question this morning is, what is the last SEC team to make the Final Four? Or better, I guess I should say who. JT Hot Springs says he would be really happy if Arkansas was the only team that made the Final Four. Which is the last SEC team to make the Final Four? You got to text those in 877-377-6963. It's one team. I'll even give you another hint on that. It was last year that this team made the Final Four. If you want a $25 CJ's Butcher Boy Burger gift card, then all you got to do is text in that team, and Colton will get you that gift card. CJ's is the #1 burger, fries, and shakes in Arkansas. Whether it's the Fayetteville location or Russellville location, you're going to get the best burgers, fries, and shakes that Keith has to offer. I always go through the Fayetteville drive-thru on Weddington. Stop in, and, man, I get a delicious burger. Plus, their chicken sandwiches are fantastic as well. CJ's Butcher Boy Burgers. When all you do are burgers, they have to be the best. Mark in Fayetteville got it correct. It is Alabama, the last team to make the Final Four. We'll be live in San Francisco tomorrow. Tune in for the Morning
Spring
Rush.
camping season is here. Don't miss the NWA RV Show and Outdoor Party, April 12th and 13th at 5102 West Pauline Whitaker Parkway in Rogers, just behind Newt's. Sponsored by 2 of the state's largest RV dealers, Wheels RV and Moix RV. With brands you love like Grand Design, Jayco, Brinkley, Flagstaff, Coachman, Catalina, Vibe, and Winnebago.